So Chuck Schumer and the Senate Democrats finally have a chance to obstruct the Republicans and stop them from doing more damage to this country. Will they fumble this opportunity? Yes, hard. They fumbled hard. Senate Democrats had the power to prevent this stopgap bill, which would have sent the government into economic shutdown. But the Democrats thought, why ruin our losing streak now? Republicans only needed 7 Democrats to vote in favor of cloture. We gave them 10. More specifically, the guy who's supposed to be leading the Democratic Party gave them 10 votes. Chuck Schumer, the Senate Minority Leader from New York, had the opportunity to convince fellow Democrats to thwart this Republican bill, which is full of spending cuts requested by the Trump administration, but instead, he was like, that's fine. Like, just let the Republicans do what they want. What am I, the leader of the Democrats? So Schumer's like, listen, we need to minimize the harm that the Republican Party and the Trump administration are doing to this country. But instead, we're going to let the Republicans have their way, and we're just going to say a few words here at the lectern that nobody's going to remember, and the Republicans are going to get credit for keeping the government open. If you want to know how significant of a fumble and a fail this is, if you're curious at all how this ranks in terms of government failings by a political party, House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries brought all of the Democrats back to fight against this CR. House Democrats already did their job, but then they got wind that the Senate was going to fumble this all to hell. So they're like, never mind, let's get back there and fight this fight. To his credit, Hakeem Jeffries rallied those House Democrats, and they all very plainly, very clearly, very strongly said, we will not support this. We should not support this. But the Democrats in the Senate were like, why did Chuck Schumer flip on the CR? Many of you were in my live last night, and we spoke at length about Chuck Schumer's reasonings and justification for his stance on supporting the CR and refusing to allow the government shutdown. The reasoning that Chuck Schumer gave was that he did not want the Democrats to be the cause of the economic shutdown. Those who have any remembrance of political history know that there have been many times that the Republicans have caused an economic shutdown, and look, they're in control of the White House and both houses of Congress. It's almost like it doesn't matter. The Democrats don't need to make Republicans happy. They don't need to make their Republican constituents happy. Do you know who they need to make happy? The people who didn't show up to the polls, the people who are non-voters, the people who are politically apathetic, who are looking at their congresspeople and saying, please do something for us. This was the wrong move. It didn't excite non-voters. It angered Democrats. The only people it pacified were Republicans. Why are you catering to Republicans, sir? Why are you wooing Republicans? At least if you stood up and stood on business and tried to stop this bill from passing, you could say out loud, we did everything we tried to stop the harm to the people. Instead, now you're just pointing fingers and saying they did it. That hasn't won you any elections, sir. To the apologists that keep saying, oh, but the Democrats are in the minority, they can't do anything. Sure they can. Republicans have been in the minority many times, and look at all the annoyances they've caused us. But they have to find bold and creative solutions, and they can't do that if they're continuing to operate from a place of fear. And that might have felt like sensible politics circa 2005, but today it's irresponsible, because look at this mess that we have to deal with. That's because y'all haven't done enough. You don't need to be asking yourselves, are we doing too much? You should be asking yourselves, are we doing enough every single day? You're never going to do too much, Chuck. It's never going to be too much. I promise you. You can just do more. You can just do more. You can be bold. You can be brave. You can go over the top, because it's probably still not going to be enough. Also, I look forward to primarying every single one of you.